I have this drawing on a textbook that we are all familiar with. That is technical drawing for school certificate and GCE, written by J.N. Green. So when we have what we see here, it comes from a topic that is known as auxiliary views in technical drawing, as we have it here that the front elevation and plan of a hexagonal pyramid are shown. Draw an auxiliary plan looking in direction of the arrow. So this is the front elevation and this is the plan of an hexagonal pyramid, and then the arrow, this arrow is the direction of the view for us to produce this auxiliary plan. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can produce this drawing, how you can make this construction. That is what I'm going to show you. Though no dimension is given here, but I'm going to give you dimensions that you can use to practice this. Just follow my instruction and then get your instrument and practice it as I'm going to show you here. Now, what we are to do first, or before I go on, you can see that we have the plan to be a hexagon. So this is hexagon, and I'm going to make the length or side of this hexagon to be 30 millimeters. Okay, 30 millimeters. Then the height of the pyramid, the front elevation, that is distance from here to here, I'll be making it 70 millimeters. So let's see how the construction can be done. So what we are to do first here is that we are going to draw a vertical center line. So we draw a vertical center line. So we are positioning the auxiliary plan here on this side. So we need space on this side. So let's draw a vertical center line. So this is, we have this to be a vertical center line. So this is a vertical center line. Then we come up and we also draw a horizontal center line. So here we have horizontal center line. So this is horizontal center line. Then the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to take a measurement of 30 millimeters. As I said, that the length or side of the hexagon is 30 millimeters. So with the compass, so we take a measurement of 30 millimeters on the ruler. So I'm taking it, I'm making use of this square. So this is 30 millimeters. Then we put the pin of the compass here at the point of intersection of the two center lines, and then we turn it around to produce a circle. So here we have this circle. Okay, here is a circle. Then with the radius that you use to draw this circle, so don't touch it. So with the way the hexagon is positioned in the drawing that we are given, so all you have to do, put the pin of the compass here at this point on the circle, make an arc to this side on the circle, and also you turn it to this side, make an arc to this side here. Then you put the pin here with the same radius, put it at this point here, and then you make an arc up here, okay, on this side. Then you make an arc to this side. So we have this point. Okay, now so let's number this point that we have on the circle. So I will call this point to be point 1. Okay, so this is point 2, so this is point 3. Okay, and then so this 2 is not really showing and 1 is not showing well. Okay, so then I have this point to be point 4, so this is point 5, and then I have this point to be point 6. So I have this. So we are going to connect this point together for us to obtain the hexagon, so the hexagonal base of the pyramid. So we connect this together with this, and then I'm connecting this 3 and 4 together with a straight line. Then I'm connecting 2 and 3 together, so with a straight line like this. Okay, then I'm connecting 5 and 6 together with a straight line. Then I will connect 4 and 5 together with a straight line. Then I will connect 1 and 2 together with a straight line. So just decide on how you are to join them together, so there's nothing hard about this. Okay, so now that we have this now, so next thing that we are going to do is to draw the front elevation. So we have drawn the plan, okay. Then we now need to go up and produce the front elevation here. So let's see how that can be done. So all you have to do, so come up a little bit, just come up a little bit like this, and then you draw horizontal line. So here we have this horizontal line. Then on this line, on this center line from this point, I will take a measurement of 70 millimeters. I will take a measurement of 70 millimeters. So here is 70 millimeters. So then the next thing that I'm going to do, that's the apex. So let's call this apex. Let's call it point O here. So let's call it point O. We have this, okay. Then, so the next thing that I'm going to do is that I need to, from this point, so I'm going to draw a vertical line from this point, okay, from this point 2. So it is meant for both 2 and 3. So I will draw a vertical line to touch the horizontal line. Then I will come to this point. So from this point 6, so it is meant for both 5 and 6. I will also draw a vertical line to touch the horizontal line. So then we are going to connect this point together with the apex or the pyramid, that is point O. So we have it like this, okay. Then we also draw from here, so we connect it with point O, so like this, okay. We have this now. So now, so these lines, so this baseline, we have to make it a thick line. So we make it a thick line from here to here. So we have this, and then so this line also, we also need to make it a thick line from here to here, okay. Then we also make this line a thick line from here to here. So we have this now, okay. Then this line also will also be a thick line, to not be a center line anymore, because what we have here is that we are standing here. So just assume that we have the pyramid before you, and you are looking at it in this direction. So when you are looking at it in this direction, you will see this corner. So you see this corner here. So this corner is going to make this line to be a thick line from this baseline up to the apex. So okay, then we see this corner, that's why we have to make this line a thick line. The same thing applies to this. We are going to see this corner, that's why this line is also a thick line, okay. So this is how the front elevation and the plan should be. So now the next thing that we are going to do is that the direction of view based on the arrow that we are given. So let's say that arrow is at an angle of 45 degrees. So let's make it 45 degrees at an angle of 45 degree. I'm looking at that 45. Okay, so let me check. So though the angle is not given to us in the drawing, so we need to work it out ourselves. Okay, so looking at how we have to do it, okay, so that we can, okay. So if I'm to use, okay, we'll be using 45. So let's we use 30. So let's use 30 degrees. So the arrow is in direction is at angle 30 to the horizontal. So this is the arrow. So we need to put the arrow head here. So we put the arrow head here. So we have it like this, okay. So the angle that the arrow makes with the horizontal, so is 30 degrees. So I'll just put it here. So just follow me, okay. So this angle, so is 30 degrees. You can see that I use 30 degrees set square to draw it. And then so the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to, let's number this point. This point is 0.2, 3, okay. So this point is 0.1, this is 1,4, okay. Then this is 5, 6. So we have it at the base here. So we need to number so that be able to get it done with ease. Okay, so now let's look at the next thing that we are going to do. So we are going to take the set square. So we have to draw a line from this point, from this point, from this point in this direction, and each of the line will be parallel to the arrow. So you need to take note of that. So each of the line that we are drawing from here will be parallel to the arrow. So don't forget that what we want to do is to draw the auxiliary plan. And whenever you are asked to draw the auxiliary plan, you have to project lines from the given elevation, okay. So whenever you're asked to draw auxiliary plan, you have to project lines from the given elevation. So this is the front elevation, so you have to draw lines in direction of the arrows from the given elevation. So from this point we draw a line, so with the 30-degree set square, because the arrow is inclined at an angle 30 degrees, so the object is being viewed at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. So we draw a line from here, and then we come to this point. We also draw a line in this direction, and then we come to this point, so we draw a line in this direction. Then we come up here, so we come up here, which is the apex of the pyramid. Then we draw a line in this direction, so we have this. So now, so we have to draw a line that will be at a right angle to each of these lines. So we need to make use of 60-degree side of this set square. So because 30 plus 60 will give us 90, so we just move away from the views. Okay, then draw a line. So we draw it as a center line like this. Okay, so we have this now. All right, so now let's see the next thing that we are going to do. So as we have it in the drawing given to us, so we have to connect the corners together. So connect point 2 and 5 together with a straight line, and then connect point 3 and 6 together with a straight line. So we have this. All right, so we have this now. All right, so we need to transfer some distances here. Okay, so let me let you know that this is an auxiliary plane. So we are producing the auxiliary plan on an auxiliary plane, even if it is auxiliary elevation that you want to draw. So we have to produce the auxiliary views on an auxiliary plane. So whether it is auxiliary plan or auxiliary elevation that you are working on. Now we are viewing this object in this direction. When I'm looking at it in this direction, I'm going to see this line. I will see this line. I will see this line. I will see this line. But this line and this line and this line will be hidden from me. You are going to see how I'm going to show it here. Now we need to transfer these points at this point. Okay, this point, this point, this point, and this point. We need to transfer them here. So let's see how that can be done. So what we have to do is that we are going to draw a horizontal line from this point in this direction. Then you come to this point 3, draw a horizontal line, and then you come to point 2, so draw a horizontal line. Then come to point 1 here, so you draw a horizontal line to this side, and then so we are to draw a vertical line here. So from here, draw a vertical line. So now, so this middle point here, this middle point will be point 0, so we call it 0. So this is point 0, and then that is what we are going to put here. Okay, so please let's take note of what we are doing. So it is very, very important that you follow my instruction, and then when I'm done, okay, after you have watched the video or while watching the video, please practice it. Okay, technical drawing is very simple. All you have to, when you have a good instructor, okay, if you can follow that person, you will see that technical drawing is very, very simple. Okay, so let's see the next thing that we are to do now. All right, so now I want you to know something, because I'll be taking distance from up here. Okay, so I just want you to know that distance from this point to this point 2, okay, same as distance of point 0 to 3, and then distance of point 0 to this line 1. This is 1. We have 1 here. Let me just number here. Okay, so here we have what this is 1, and this is what this is 2. So this is 0. So this is 3, and then here we have what we have 4 here. So the distance of this point 0 to 2, same as distance of point 0 to 3, and distance of point 0 to 1 is same as distance of point 0 to 4. Okay, so we don't have to take them one by one. So all I have to do is that I just take a distance of 0 to 2, so from here to 2. Okay, so all right, so bring it here. Okay, so when you make it for 2 here, okay, then you make it for 3 down here. Very, very simple. Okay, so this is let me write it. So this is 2, okay, and then this is 3. Okay, so just take note. Then I'll now take from 0 to 1. So we should also go for that of 0 to 4. Okay, so this is it. So take this distance of 0 to 1. So put it here at 0, and then make an arc here. Make an arc here. Okay, so this is for 1. So here we have this for 1, and this is for 4. So you can see how simple this is. And don't forget that this is point O here. That is the apex of the pyramid. Okay, so we have that. So now, so we need to transfer this point to onto this line. Okay, you know that the baseline start from here, then we have this one, and we have this. So we need to put other point there. Okay, so what we are to do is this. So I'm going to, so we take the 60 degrees set square, because we are going to draw a line from each on each of these points that will be parallel to this line. So, and then don't forget that we use 60 degrees set square to produce this center line. So what we have to do is this. So with the 60 degrees set square, so draw a line. So draw a line, sorry. So draw a line from 1. So from 1, draw a line to this, to touch this. Okay, so we have this. And then from here, so draw a line to touch this. Okay, then come here. So draw a line from 3 to touch this. And then from 4, draw a line to touch this. Okay, so now, so let's locate the point. Okay, so starting from here, okay, so where do we have what? Where do we have this point 2 and 3? So we have point 2 here, we have 3 here. Okay, as we have it to be a straight line here. So this is point 2 and this is point 3. So we take note of this point. This is point 2. Okay, and this is point 2 and this is point 3. So what about 1? We have 1 and 4 at this point. So already we have 1 here on this line. Okay, then we have 4 at this point. Then where do we have 5? We have 5 along this. Look at it. 5 and 6, they are facing 2 and 3. So 6 goes with 2. So at this point, this is where we have 6. Okay, because we have 2 here. Then 5 goes with 3. So at this point, we have what? We have 5 here. Okay, so let's take note of that. So what we just have to do, each of these points will be connected with the apex of the pyramid. So we just have to draw a line. So I'm going to start by making, we draw this line from here. Okay, so we draw from here. So so let's make we are going to see this line. So let's make it a thick line at once. So a line at this point 3. So we also make it a thick line. We have to make this a thick line because you can see the line at this point as we are doing it in this direction. So we are going to see the line at this point 4, at point 3, at point 2, and at point 1. We see all those 4 lines as slant line as I've done it here. So from 3 also we draw the line to touch the apex of the pyramid like this. And then at 2, we also do the same thing. So draw a line from this point to the apex of the pyramid. Then at 1, so we also draw the line so to touch the apex of the pyramid. So we have this now. But the line that we have at this point 6 and 5, they will be hidden. They'll be hidden because so standing here, those lines will be hidden from us. Okay, so we need to make them short dashes line. So we just come here and produce short dashes line from here. Okay, so dash dash, and then all right, so we have this. Then also at this point 6, so we also do the same thing like this, short dashes line. Okay, so we have this. Then the base, as I said that we are going to see this line 2 to 3, it should be a thick line. So we have to make this line, make it a thick line from here to here like this. Okay, then this line that connects 1 and 2 together, we also see it as a thick line. So make this line, so make it a thick line from here to here. So we have this. Then this line from that connects 3 and 4 together will also be visible to us. So we also need to make it a thick line from here to here. Okay, so we have this. Then this line that connects 1 and 6 together, we can't see it, it will be hidden from us. So we have to make it short dashes line. Okay, so we make short dashes line like this from here to here. So we have this. And then this line that connects 5 and 6 together will be hidden from us also. We also need to make it short dashes line. So so make it short dashes line like this. Okay, so we have this. Then the line that connects 5 and 4 together will also be hidden from us. So we also make this line, make a short dashes line like this. Okay, so this is the auxiliary plan of this pyramid. It's very simple. So all you have to do is to practice. So practice practice and practice. And my prayer is that God will help you and give you the grace to understand it. God bless you.